Well, a very good evening, Bridge North fans. Welcome to Parrot Park Radio. We are here for episode 6 and, the heads of a couple of media superstars during the week after a massive week last week, having the Prime Minister on, of course. Pup and Bobby just squeezed their way through the studio doors here of City Park Radio tonight. We thank Chris Ball, of course, and the team for hosting us. But what a week it was for the Bridge North Footy Club, not only to have the Prime Minister on, but of course all the media that went with it. And we got we'll find out about Ollie very shortly because we're very pleased to have him back. But we got to start with Pup and Bobby because you guys, you were in on TV. We heard Bobby on the radio, in the newspapers. It was all the Pup and Bobby show. But Bridge North, of course, got a lot of publicity during the week, and it was a big week. But gents, as we welcome you, Pup, first question is, now tonight you are wearing not a Bridge North cap because obviously we found out last week that the Prime Minister's got both of yours. Have you received in the mail yet from the Prime Minister, as promised, at some stage, you didn't say this week, a Cronulla Sharks cap?
No, not at this stage. Obviously just gone a week, but yeah, I'd be expecting something in another week. But big news today. I don't know if you're up that way today, obviously at Bridge North. It was only a week ago he was on the show. We've actually got traffic lights up at Bridge North at the moment. Don't know if you noticed. Yeah, those temporary ones, they're doing some roadworks at the moment. I was sitting there for about a minute with a red light.
They only turn green when you drive through?
What's going on at Bridge North? A red light.
Well,
yeah,
well,
things you can do within a week, eh?
Indeed. Bobby, highlights for you. It's been a big week.
Yeah, it has, mate. G'day, Rick. G'day, Ollie and Pup and all our listeners. But, yeah, it was a very big week with all the media. Thank you to Meg Sides, a good
great article.
Bridge North girl who did a great story on Channel Win, so on Win News. And but, no, really, really big week. Great publicity for the club. But wasn't a highlight of my week. Highlight of my week was being able to get over 60 players and coaches back training, back over our 4 training runs we had last week, and we've already had a couple to this week already. Ollie's just come from senior men's training, and we had senior women's training last night as well. So, yeah, had over 60 players and coaches last week to come out and followed all the protocols, and it was just good to see them enjoying themselves, having a bit of a laugh. A lot of the laughing was at me and Pup, but anyway, that's the way it is. So, but no, it was good. It was good for them all to be out, kicking the footy and having a bit of fun. So,
of course, announcement from the Premier today that restrictions will be eased from this weekend, obviously being brought forward a little bit as well. So, positive news, I guess, all round for the state. It'll be watched now and see in terms of whether we do get that spike that a lot of people are talking about as restrictions are eased. But it's going to give a lot of people confidence and I guess a bit of freedom as well.
Definitely.
Right.
So positive news today from the Premier and bringing it forward, changed even some of the numbers that were first forecast, as in groups you can meet in and things like that. So that's very positive of potentially some sort of a footy season later on. Who knows how that'll go? The NTFA got a meeting pretty well as this will go to air. But we'll wait and see. But yeah, I was very, very enjoyed that positive news today.
Ollie, training. Tell me about how did it feel?
Yeah, it was awesome. I was saying before, it was just actually nice to be sort of driving up Bridge North Road, going to footy training and seeing all the guys. It was certainly amazing. I think how easy you sort of take it for granted heading up to the footy club 2 to 3 times a week. So to see a few of the boys and get up there was brilliant. I absolutely loved it.
How was it in terms of, what was the feeling out there? And I mean, obviously things are different. How did everyone handle it?
Everyone handled it really well. Everyone was probably a little bit more jovial than what they normally were. I think there's been a lot of boys stuck inside. I can think of a couple in my head that I can imagine wouldn't cope very well with it.
Please name.
Up there tonight, someone like a Sammy Glanville and a Casey Walker-Russell were carrying on like absolute pork chops.
He's up and about, Sammy.
But, yes, I think Sammy's been one that's been named as a bit of a pest a couple of times, I think by Silly in particular. But, I think it's just nice to see all the guys and have a bit of a run around.
Fantastic. All right, well, no doubt we'll talk about it a bit more during the course of tonight's show. As well, as we said, it is episode 6. So what that means is we're into the top 5 now for the top 10 of the century. So tonight we'll reveal and catch up with our number 5 player. Also looking forward to catching up with Paige Norris from the women's team. There's a few people that work in the health department, Bobby, within the women's team. So that's also, very reassuring for the team. But it'd be a great chat with Paige a little bit later on.
Yeah, definitely. It's been handy too, the nurses we've had in the women's side at times. Yeah, when a player's gone down and someone's had to be there to rush to their aid. So, yeah, looking forward to talking to Paige.
Now, Pup, we're also going to catch up tonight with a bit of a favourite. He's, Feathers, as he's better known. He's become a bit of a favourite, hasn't he? And still a man who's never forgotten about what's happened at Bridgenorth, and we're looking forward to a chat with him.
Yeah, no, definitely great value, Feathers. Came down to the club. Bobby probably have the info there.
About
probably
2009.
Actually it was 2009. Just walked straight into the club and, fitted like a glove.
Fantastic. Well, we'll hear some good stories tonight. Now, gents, we thought we had the big deal last week when we had ScoMo on the show, but tonight he's been in hiding. Everyone's been on social media saying, where is he? But tonight, Jared Circle is going to be on the show as well. We are looking forward to catching up with J Rod immensely, aren't we?
Yeah,
Bobby's not.
No, I can't wait.
Bobby's sweating, isn't he, Rick?
No, I'm not sweating.
I think he is.
Oh, no, I've got plenty of dirt on Jared.
Not that hot.
Don't worry about that. And his little band of merry men that he would have got some more info from as well.
So, Parrot fans, stay tuned. We'll be catching up with the big J-Rod later on. Of course, he was all over the media again this week because it all got brought up again after the Prime Minister was on the show. So lots to look forward to, including Parrot Park Lotto as well. We'll give away another $300 in cash. But we've got to get to a break and hear from some of our great sponsors before we come back with our first guest for the night here on Parrot Park Radio.
Foot and Playstead, a long-term, loyal sponsor with hundreds of years of experience in the printing industry. Foot and Playstead provide a service that is respected for its innovation, reliability and dedication to quality. For all your printing projects, big or small, call in and see Tim Lack and the team today.
Beams Brothers is our longest serving sponsor, who are big supporters of local football. Beams offers a huge variety of products from agricultural lime and dolomite, landscaping materials to machine hire, all at affordable prices. Beams Brothers have grown from humble beginnings to now being one of the West Hamers' biggest employers. Past present employees have pulled on the Parrots Guernseys, with 4 brothers, Ian, Ted, Tony and Donald, playing with the club, also with brother-in-law Peter Stratton. Robin Tasker had a kick, as did modern-day star Joel Clements. Call Beams Brothers today.
Or Rick will.
Welcome back to Parrot Park Radio. You are with Ollie, Pup, Bobby and me, Rick Fontaine. Great to have your company tonight. And as we heard, of course, the team back training and what did we say, Bobby? 60 odd, did we have?
60 in total last week. Yeah,
absolutely,
there was another
fantastic.
19 the men's tonight training.
Tremendous. Well, I know someone who probably would like to be up there, although it's pretty chilly down here at the moment, but hopefully not where he is. But a supporter who moved into Bridgenorth and decided to call his club one night when he came down, and he never looked back. Became a board member, done a lot of great things with the club before returning to WA. Still comes back every year, and I think he joins us tonight from Bustleton, and we might just get the go on this, because I know their jetty, whether it's the longest jetty in Australia or indeed maybe one of the biggest jetties in the world, he might be able to answer it. But Glenn Feathers Bruckner has joined us on the line. G'day, Feathers, how you doing?
Good evening, Rick. How we do?
I'm tremendous, thank you. So what? It's about half past 5 in the evening home. How's the weather over there?
It was 21 today, sunny.
Sorry, I asked.
On to dusk.
Well, I'm sorry I asked. It's about what is it here, Pup? About 11.
Oh, if that, I reckon.
Okay. But now the jetty, is it the country Australia's biggest, or is it one of the bigger ones in the world?
It's the biggest in the Southern Hemisphere.
Is it? Right. There you go.
Yeah, and it may be the world. It may be the biggest wooden one in the world.
Yeah, fantastic. Now, before we get on to some of the Bridgenorth stories, I know Pup and Bobby in particular are looking forward to a chat. For all the Bridgenorth fans that obviously got to know you down here, how's life treating you over there?
Oh, pretty good, pretty good.
And you missed the show last week. We had the Prime Minister came on. And he's, of course, he's now the official number one ticket holder for the club as well. So Bridgenorth, even though we haven't got on the park yet, they're going all right.
Yeah, your last two guests have been good, haven't they?
Yeah, absolutely. Fancy backing. We had to back it up with having you on first tonight. Absolutely, you've got that right. So, hey, Bobby, I know you got plenty you want to catch up with as well.
G'day, Feathers. How are you, mate?
Good, thanks, Bobby. How are you?
Yeah, going well, Cobber. That was a lovely temperature day over there today, mate. 21. That's better than we've been having here, for sure.
It drops off pretty quick, though.
Yes. Well, yeah, we have hardly been getting to 15 of late. So, anyway, you know what the winters are like here, mate.
I know. I'd rather be there than here, mate.
Oh well, yeah, we'd rather be having some footy to you'd come and watch, mate, and have a beer watching the boys play. But
yeah, brilliant.
Now, mate, we got plenty.
With your Tigers, Bobby.
Oh, me Tigers. Yeah, well, we got the Tigers.
Come on, Feathers.
Tigers Collingwood in a bit over a week, mate. You're a Collingwood man.
Yeah, well,
what do you reckon?
Two flags out of 3 years, and the opposition hasn't turned up.
Oh well, yeah. we won't talk about the year in the middle either that we lost the prelim. That wasn't a good.
The only game Mason Cox has ever played.
Oh, don't. His name is... That's a swear word on this show. His name's not to be mentioned. Now, Feathers, I've got a few questions. I know there is some fantastic stories. You grew up in Melbourne, good suburban Melbourne boy. You love the old suburban Melbourne footy games, going to the old grounds and that sort of thing. What are some of your great stories of growing up in Melbourne, or probably even let our listeners know what area you grew up, the footy clubs you played with, and the people that you may have mixed with?
Yeah, well, growing up in Melbourne, it was cold. It was really cold.
Yeah.
I think it's cold. It was colder then than it is now. Footy clubs, I played a lot of years with West Ivanhoe, the old Red Roosters.
Yeah.
I had a couple of seasons at North Heidelberg in the Diamond Valley, only in the Dags.
Yeah.
I followed my brother up there. He was pretty good.
Yeah, okay.
I didn't have very many funny stories there, Bobby.
Oh, well, probably ones you can't mention here. You have told me some very funny stories of those days.
I used to like going to the suburban grounds though on a Saturday afternoon. If there was no footy on, you go and watch. Go to Essendon or the
Vic Park,
Windy Hill, or same ground. Collingwood, Carlton's ground.
What was the favourite? Being a Collingwood man, you would have liked Vic Park going there.
Oh, Vic Park was great.
Yep.
You'd get there and stand in the outer, and somehow you get shuffled about 20 yards along just with the crowd by the end of the day.
Yeah.
You weren't where you originally started standing.
Now, I know you had some connection with Kevin Bartlett, the great KB. Can you tell us about that story?
Well, KB worked at the PMG, and I started at the PMG, and I never used to see him very often. He was at one end of town and I was at the other. But a good mate of mine that I played under 16s with, his dad worked with KB. And he got the famous man down to give us a bit of a pep talk at an under 16 preliminary final. Kev started swearing.
Did he? Did you win the game?
He dropped the F-bomb.
Did he? Did you win the game though?
No, you wouldn't believe it. 3 of our players, this is under 16, went to a bloody barrel.
Really?
Yeah.
Were you one of them?
No, I had a good game on the wing.
Did you? You're a...
Yeah.
Now we've got a question.
Didn't turn up.
We've got a question from Rick. What is P&G? I believe it's telecom.
Yeah,
isn't it?
telecom, old telecom, isn't it?
Yeah, Postmaster General's Department.
Show 'em my young age here, aren't I?
So, and some of our listeners wouldn't even know what telecom was.
No.
It's Telstra.
Telstra.
Telstra
Yes.
now.
Yes. Now, one other one, mate, before I hand over to Pup. You had a nickname back then, Laminex.
Oh, yeah, that was up at North Heidelberg. They called me Laminex.
Yeah,
I was always on top of the trainer's table.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, I thought you were going to say something else then, but I'll hand over to Pup.
No, that's latex.
G'day, Glenn. How are you, buddy?
Hello, puppy. How are you, mate?
Oh, I'm going all right. Going all right.
That's good.
Yeah. Now, just tell the listeners it's something that you've let me in on. When it gets above 20 degrees over there, you waltz off down to the beach in your budgie smugglers. Is that correct?
No, I don't wear the budgie smugglers. Just a pair of shorts.
Yeah, okay. You've upgraded
Yeah.
your shorts then, have you?
Yeah.
Yep. And just another
And you
quick...
breathe in when you walk past the chick sunbaking on the beach.
Yep. You still have to shave that hairy chest of yours still or not?
Yeah. I don't.
Oh,
I
good.
don't wear a shirt along the beach.
Yep. Hey, how good was it this year with Essendon and Collingwood not have to play Anzac Day and Collingwood getting flogged? That'd be great for you, wouldn't it?
What do you mean we got flogged?
No, you didn't have to get flogged because you couldn't play.
No, we didn't have to get flogged. No.
Yeah.
No. Do you think we should start the season?
No, it's already locked in. I don't think you're
Yeah,
playing.
I'm a
you're
bit
playing,
over it.
You're playing Richmond.
Yeah, I know, with the cardboard crowd.
Mm.
It'd be good to have something on TV, though.
Yeah, it'd be good to something to watch on a cold night.
Definitely.
Listen, I've got...
have a cup of tea, Bob.
That's
yeah,
right, mate.
Oh, fair dinkum. We're going back to that again, are we? Hey, listen, just hot off the press, I called into the footy club on the way through and watching the boys for a bit. And one story, you'll know the year and the game. You did a lot of under-19 goal umpiring for us. Which game was it where you didn't even get into a jog, but you walked to the goal square and you actually done your hammy?
Yeah, I did. I was being a bit of a lair, and Righty kicked the ball to me, and I ran to take a mark to show Patch and that I did have a bit of talent. And, I twinged the hammy.
Patch had to take over, I hear.
Yeah, Patch loves it,
Yep.
though. But the man strapped me up, and
Yep.
that was good.
Yep.
Up at
Just-
Georgetown.
Yep, and just quickly before I hand over to Ollie, obviously in your time at the club, who was the best player that you saw at Bridgenorth?
A Bridgenorth player?
A Bridgenorth player, yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, geez, I used to love watching Murph
Yep.
and Daniel Sellers and
Yep.
Dunk. But I think Clem Dog takes the cake
Yep. No, fair enough.
overall. I was there. I saw 10 seasons,
Yep.
and he was playing in all of them. And he's good every week.
Yeah. No, that's right. And then obviously you saw a lot of opposition players. Who have you got there?
Oh, the best. He was a difference between a couple of flags down at Bridgenorth, that bloody Wickham.
Yeah.
David Wickham would be the best.
Yeah, there's been a couple of guys have mentioned his name. And
Yeah.
as we do every week, keep the ball rolling, see where it ends up. Who's the most annoying person you've encountered at Bridgenorth?
Well, this is a pretty hard one, you know, pup.
Bullshit.
Darren Long, he's a bit annoying, and I don't know how young Taylor Bromby puts up with him.
Yeah, you got a point there.
Yeah, I remember when he's behind the bar and he sneaks a bit of vodka in people's drinks when you're not looking. Well, that's not very good, is it?
No, it's not.
But there is only one person that gets the 3 votes. Chris Sillywalker.
Okay. Gee,
Every
we're
week
shocked.
his
We're
name
shocked
comes
to hear that.
You know what he asked me one night?
What was that?
Do fish get thirsty?
Yeah, that sounds like silly. All right, good to hear from you, Glenn. We'll pass over to Ollie.
G'day, Glenn. How are you?
mate.
Ollie here.
Good, thanks, Ollie. How are you?
Yeah, very good, mate. Personally, I love hearing stories of supporters throughout the years, and particularly where Bobby and Pup were talking about you coming back to the club each year. Obviously, I'm assuming there were some really good teams that you watched. Was there a team in particular one year that you enjoyed watching in particular? It might have been for the way they went about it, their camaraderie or anything like that?
Yeah, one of the Bridge North, when they won about 5 flags in a row in the reserves. I used to like watching them.
Bloody good
They
team,
all had a
wasn't
good
it?
time.
Feathers. Good team, that one.
Was a good team.
Yeah.
And
the last years of fat people playing in reserves, I think.
Yeah, then Bobby retired.
Oh, it wasn't me, mate.
and
I was
how
talking about Paul.
and how being over in WA, how do you try and keep track of how the club's going and how the teams are going on the Saturday? What's your main way of keeping up with it all?
Yeah, on the old Facebook, the NTFA page.
Very good.
It's a great
Yeah,
page,
that's
that
where I
one.
check it all out.
Rick just said how good a page it is because he's in charge
I'll
of
look
it.
after
He's control of it. Now, Feathers,
We do our best.
been great to have you on the show. Have you got a joke for us, mate? Some of your jokes were just fantastic over the years. Have you got one to share with us?
Well, I could share a quick one and a little bit of longer one.
Yeah, might as well.
Right, I'll do the quick one first. This is a pretty good one, I think. What's the best thing about dating homeless women?
I don't know, mate.
You can drop them off anywhere.
Okay, the long one.
The longer one was when I was a bit younger, I went to the Royal Melbourne Show. And there was a tent there called Madam's Elders. Tell your future. And a couple of my mates dared me to go in. It was only $2. So I've gone in and there's this woman sitting there surrounded in mist, looking into a crystal ball, and she started telling me stuff. She said, look, you'll have 2 children, you'll live a fairly long life, and you'll be married and all this. And I said, yeah, right. And she said, well, just look at your palm. So she looked at my palm. She said, geez, I'll tell you what, you're going to come into money. I said, I beg your pardon? She said, you're going to come into money. I said, oh, Madam Zelda, you're unreal. I've got a girlfriend called Penny.
Do you reckon? Yeah. Do you reckon everyone misses these things down at the club?
Oh,
Hey?
No.
Fantastic,
Yep.
fantastic. Hey, one final question, Feathers. I'm intrigued to know. When you moved down here and you called into the club one night, what did it for you? What made you want to actually be a part of this club and then spend, as you said, about 10 years? What do you love about the club?
Oh, look, I walked in the front door and there was the famous Patch behind the bar. And he said, g'day, mate. Are you lost? You're looking for directions? And I said, no, I want to join the club. And he said, oh, we better have a beer then. I was hooked.
There you go. Nice, isn't it?
Yeah, great. Great club. Best club in Australia.
Can't beat community football clubs at all. That's
Nah,
that's what it's all.
fantastic.
That's what it's all about. You don't want it to be like the Western bars in the movies where you walk in there and everyone just stops and turns around and says, "Who the hell are you?"
I hold the record down there for the most number of roadies. I think I do anyway.
Yeah, that'll take a lot of beating.
Hey, it's been great to catch up, Feathers. Thanks very much for sharing some great yarns and a couple of great jokes as well. But I know there'll be a lot of people very pleased to hear your voice and hear that life's going okay and great
pretty
to
good.
reminisce.
Keep up the good work, boys. It's fantastic.
Good to
right,
hear you
thanks,
listening,
Glenn.
mate.
There we
Good on
go.
ya.
Good on you. Take
Cheers,
care.
mate.
All
Thanks,
the
Glenn.
best.
See you, mate.
boys. Ta-da.
There we go. Glenn Feathers Bruckner. Isn't he a great fella?
Oh, some of his jokes and stories that, we couldn't put on this show.
Oh, definitely not.
Very
One thing I didn't get to ask him, I've obviously been talking to him today, he used to come up with this saying when the opposition were having a set shot at goal. he'd go, mungy, mungy, hula. And we said, what's that? He said, oh, it's just something I learned over in Victoria. Well, for a couple of years, it worked a treat. And then one game, I think the opposition kicked 6 goals in a row and he was using it, and we just said, righto, you got to get rid of that now. Funny man.
Yeah, great yarns. Good to catch up with him. All right, we've got to get to a break. When we come back here on Parrot Park Radio, we're going to be joined by Paige Norris from the women's team.
Tembe Civil is pleased to sponsor the Parrots this year. From the 1950s to the late 70s, the Tembe name was synonymous with the Beauty Point Football Club. From everyone at Tembe Civil, we trust the Parrots flourish and continue for many years, and look forward to partner them into the future. Go Parrots!
Hillwood Berries is a family-owned and operated berry farm nestled along the Tamar River. From its beginning, just 9 years ago, the Dornoff family have proudly developed a thriving business of producing delicious seasonal fresh berries. Amongst many groups, they support the seasonal worker program and value the great reward that comes from seeing their local communities develop as a result. They have been proud platinum sponsors of the Bridgnorth Parrots Football Club, both men's and women's teams, for the past 3, going on 4 years, and look forward to continuing this sponsorship into the future.
Parrot's major sponsor, Lagana Tavern, are back in the kitchen preparing tavern takeaway for you. Taste the tavern takeaway menu, with many of your favourites available Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and pizzas available Friday, Saturday and Sunday, with our regular $15 Parma specials on Monday. Check out our pinned post on Facebook or have a chat to our friendly staff for menu details and specials. Order from 3 p.m. for pickup from 5, or give us a call on 633 02 772.
Welcome back to Parrot Park Radio. You are with Rick, Pup, Bobby and Ollie. Great to have your company, episode 6 already. Of course, we had a massive show last week with the PM, but a massive show tonight. Of course, just catching up there with Feathers. And we've still got our number 5 player of the century to come. And, of course, Big J-Rod as well. But next, she's a member of the women's team at Bridgnorth, won the inaugural Doreen Carey Award for the Best Club Player. And a bit of a theme we've seen over the last few weeks, catching up with the players. Another one who works in the health industry, did a work placement down at the Northwest Regional Hospital, so we might get onto that as well. But it is a great pleasure to welcome to Parrot Park Radio tonight, Paige Norris. How are you going, Paige?
I am good.
Excellent. Thank you very much for joining us. And what's it feel like now with sort of, we can't quite say yet that footy is back, but of course training and things starting to happen around the club again. It must be good.
Yeah, no, it's definitely very good. I think I let myself go a bit too much with running and exercise, so I'm definitely paying for that again. No, it's definitely good to see everyone and catch up with everyone that, we haven't seen for a few months.
How important was that, do you think, as well? Like mentally, it must be great. People working under a lot, whether they're studying or at work, life has not been normal. How important was it to get amongst all your good mates?
Yeah, no, it was really good. I think, last year we were such a close group coming into our first year of footy, and, we pretty much made family out of each other. So, it was really good, being able to obviously not interact only through our phones and messaging, but actually, face to face and see each other and check up on each other. And yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people, we're stuck at home all day apart from going to work or, getting the groceries and stuff. So it is really good to, just in these times be able to see a friendly face and have a chat and get fit at the same time.
G'day, Paige. Bobby here.
Howdy, Bobby.
Great to have you on the show. You're, as Rick mentioned, you won a very big award at the club, the Doreen Carey Award for Best Club Player in season 2019. It was your first year of football. What were some of the highlights of season 2019? You probably did just mention a few of them with the bond you formed with the girls, but what were some of the other highlights?
Oh, I guess learning how to actually kick a football, thanks to you and Pup, was definitely a big highlight.
You kick it very well now, Paige?
I definitely couldn't do that. Obviously coming from the Northwest originally, moving up for uni, it was, so nice to have some friendly faces, which was definitely a huge highlight. And it's just been a really good year, and it's a good club to get around with a great atmosphere. I mean, you never feel alone. There's always someone to go to help with anything, which is, awesome.
Yeah, no, it's certainly great to have you about, as well as all the other girls. Now, you mentioned you grew up on the Northwest. That was where you did your placement in the Northwest Regional Hospital, which has been in the news a lot over the last 3 months. How was that? You were there, obviously, in that time. How did you find that?
So luckily, I actually got changed prior and was sent to a nursing home in Ulverston, which was very lucky, because I think I was about 3 weeks into my placement there that things started to get very crazy at the hospital there, and with their wards and stuff and nurses contracting it and things. And so I was very lucky to be able to continue and do my whole month and a half of placement, because there were a lot of people there that ended up having to stop, and now they're stuck doing 50 million uni assignments while trying to catch up on the hours of placement that they missed. I think it was just a really good environment to be in for my third year, my final year of my nursing, and just being around such a the age group that's really at risk of, all the effects of corona and stuff, like the isolation and stuff. Went into lockdown, so they weren't able to see their families. They were very down, very scared, because they knew they were at high risk of catching it. So it was just a really good placement to, kind of get a bit of perspective and really help out a vulnerable group of people through the 6 weeks that I was there.
Yeah. I've got one last question before I hand over to Pup. You've obviously been tested for it. How was the test? It looks pretty painful.
Bobby, honestly, it was the worst experience of my life. Imagine, paper burn going down your nostrils, and then out the nostril and then back down the other nostril. And then I had to put my mask back on, because obviously I went and got tested when it wasn't, this big luxurious drive-through that's going on, which is brilliant at the moment. I had to go in and get tested, so they put a big mask on me, got the probe put down my nose and down my throat, and then had to put this big mask back on, and tears were pouring into the mask, and it was awful.
Yeah, that doesn't look good, but thankfully you're all clear, and you were able to, like you say, finish your placement.
Yeah, it was very, very lucky.
Hey, Paige, how are you? Pup here.
Hi, Pup.
Only been 24 hours, hasn't it? But, I've got a couple of things here. You're obviously, you're like all you girls that have come on here, just sound so professional. For someone like yourself, Paige, when we'd sit down and have coaches meetings one-on-one, you'd be so nervous thinking that we're going to interrogate you or something like that. But it's not that bad, is it?
You're both sitting there right next to each other. You've got the other coaches sitting there. You've all got your little hands in your laps. All eyes on me. I crawl into my little hermit crab.
Oh, okay. No, you certainly come a long way with that. Just another small one there. How's Jack going down there in the southern end of the state?
Yeah, he's good. I think he's loving his first year at Corpus Christi teaching, which is really positive considering, the distance at the moment. They've started training back at Hobart, the Demons there. So he's definitely been enjoying that, going straight from work to training. No, he's doing very good.
Yeah, no, that's good, because obviously Jack and Tyson and Bona obviously came up for three years, Bobby, or 4? 3.
They varied. Some were 2,
yeah, they
some
varied,
were 3.
But those guys are always going to be welcome back at Parrot Land, of course, because they, a bit like our previous guest, Feathers, those guys just embraced our club immensely, and the work they did around the club, and Yeah, especially functions and stuff like that. Just were great to have around.
Yeah, I'm definitely trying to talk him back. I think he's easily persuaded because he does miss the Parrots a lot.
You'll get him. All right, I'll pass on to Ollie.
Hey, Paige, how you going? Ollie here.
Hi, good.
One of the questions I've asked a couple of the girls, and I think it's really relevant at the moment with everything that's going on, is the mindfulness that Bobby has organised. How have you found that, and has there been anything in particular that you've taken out of that whole experience?
Yeah, so unfortunately I missed all of the face-to-face ones, which I heard were amazing from the girls because I was on placement. But even so, it's been so amazing, obviously, on our Facebook page for the girls, all these positive things coming up. And we did a big thing about, every day posting 3 things we were grateful for. And it really was a big eye-opener, especially in a time like this, being able to sit back and actually think about, what we're grateful for and be able to take a moment out of our day to really think about everything going on and how much, good we have going for us compared to other people. So, no, it's been very helpful, obviously clearing our minds to then, clear the rest of us physically.
Awesome.
Excellent. Thanks, Ollie. Well, Paige, great to catch up with you. Thank you for coming on tonight as well, and well done on everything that you've been, I guess the learning curve that you've had obviously over the last few months. You probably got a lot more out of your work placement than you actually thought you were going to get, but unfortunately you had to go through that horrible COVID test. Hey, I've got one quick one before we wrap up. My daughter's actually first year nursing student. Any advice I should pass on to her?
First year is the best year.
Is it?
You think second year is the hardest, and then you get the third year, and you've just got to keep pushing through.
I think she's actually only had about 1 week there before the rest of it's all been at home, so she may not like hearing that.
Keep trying because it gets better.
All right, very good. Thank you for that. Hey, great to catch up, and let's hope that there will be some footy in 2020 you can get amongst not only training but getting on the park and playing with all your mates very soon.
Definitely. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Paige.
All right,
Thanks,
good on you.
Paige.
Thanks, Paige.
See you guys.
Bye. Paige Norris joining us, and as you mentioned, every week they shine, these women, don't they? They are magnificent. What's the media training you guys do down there? It is. They are fantastic.
They've got better, obviously, Rick, because we're learning from you, of course.
Well, no, not what I was leaning towards, because they are fantastic.
No, they've been great.
Yeah, no, awesome, and very close-knit team.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Super.
Terrific. Got to get to a break. When we come back, we're going to meet our number 5 player in the top 10 of the century, of the 2000s. We'll give you his bio, and we will reveal his name next here on Parrot Park Radio. Stay with us.
Freeland's IGA Express are a Tats outlet with a full range of scratchies and gift packs. Freeland's IGA store offers a full range of groceries, fruit and vegetables with an in-store butchery. Special orders are welcome. Freeland's IGA have friendly and helpful staff with car parking located in the rear for your convenience. So for all your shopping needs and inquiries, head to Freeland's IGA Express, 112 Main Road, Exeter, or call them on 6394 3066.
Titan Windows and Doors are your leaders in quality UPVC double glazed windows and doors with exceptional energy efficiency. With a comprehensive range, our friendly staff are sure to help you select the perfect choice for your new or existing premises. Call in and see us today at 9 Lagana Park Drive or phone 63 303 639. A proud Bridge North Parrots major sponsor.
Next Phase Electrical has been operating throughout northern Tasmania since 2007. Based on the West Tamer, Next Phase offer an extensive range of residential and domestic electrical services to customers such as builders, real estates, body corporates and homeowners. We can help you from the design stage through to completion of project. Our team is creative and versatile in designing residential solutions to meet our customers' everyday requirements. Our expert electricians will make sure your home is left even better than we found it. We are so serious about our service, we offer a full lifetime warranty on all of our workmanship. Contact Sharon in our office today. Parrot sponsor.
Welcome back to Parrot Park Radio. You're with Pup, Bobby, Ollie and me, Rick Fontaine. Great to have your company for episode 6, which means we are into the top 5 for our top 10 players of the century. Well, that is 2000 to 2020, 2019. Now, our next bloke. Now, I was just saying to the fellas off air here, it is remarkable how many players that are in the top 5 or the first 6 made their debut in round 1 of 2009. Here's another one as well against Bracknell. Ended up playing 119 senior games with the club, kicking 244 goals in his career. He's won numerous best and fairest, 3 clubs. He won the NTFA best and fairest back in 2011 as well. He's had top 10 finishes and, of course, a senior premiership player in 2010 and also was best on ground and captained the side for 3 consecutive years, 2012 through to 2014. As I said, he joins the club as number 5 in the top 10 of the century. We do congratulate and welcome to Parrot Park Radio, Josh Murfitt. G'day, Josh. How you doing?
G'day, guys. Yeah, good. How are you going?
Fantastic. Congratulations, first of all, because there's been some magnificent players that have played with the club in the first 19, 20 years of the 2000s, and you've come in at number 5.
Yeah, no, it's good. Yep, that's a good achievement, yeah.
Now, obviously, I was just reflecting on the fact that you made your debut in round 1 of 2009, but that was the start of some great things. You finished 3rd that year, and then, of course, in 2010, obviously was a fantastic year personally for you, but also for the club as well. You must have some great memories.
Yeah, plenty of memories there along the way, so, yeah, definitely 2010 was.
Talk us through a little bit about, I guess, coming to Bridgnorth and how you found. I mean, as you played 122 games, only 3 in the reserves. The rest were all senior games. But what did you love about the club?
I think it was just more about the family atmosphere and that they had down there, and just a real good bunch of people. So that was one thing that drove me there, and good mates down there as well that travelled along. So pretty much followed them. So it was good.
G'day, Murph. Bobby here, mate.
Hey, Bobby. How you going?
Congratulations on your being in the top 5.
Yeah, thanks very much.
We've already had an old supporter, Feathers, on tonight, and we said, who are the best players he saw at Bridgnorth over the years. Your name was the first one he mentioned. So I know a lot of be loved watching you go about your business. I certainly was one of those. You know, you'd kick remarkable goals or be on someone's seat on someone's head and take a screamer. 2010 was obviously a very big year when we won the premierships. What was so special about it for you? Obviously, we won the premiership, but what other memories have you got of that season where it all gelled and we were able to win a couple of cups?
Oh, the whole season's a bit of a blur, really, for me. Obviously winning the grand final was a big thing for me because that was the first senior grand final I've ever won, like in football and that. So that was one good thing about that year. Really, it's good to always win one of those.
Yeah, definitely, mate. It was certainly we're a close knit group to win both of them. Now, before you come to Bridgnorth, you come from North Launceston, but you had played. I remember playing against you when you were at Rocherloo. You're only a teenager. They were the 2 clubs you played with before us, weren't they? Rocherloo and North.
Yep, that's correct.
Yep. Now, who were some of the, obviously from those teams, who were some of the better players you played with at Rochely obviously had some good sides, and then North have always had good sides. Who were some of those better state league players you played with, and the Rochely sides?
The Rochely ones, obviously, David Wickham, he was pretty impressive the way he went about his business, especially in front of goals, as everyone knows. Probably back in like Aaron Viney. Who else have we got back then? Wager, Spreader. There's a few blokes back at North. And, yeah, that's about it. All I can think of at the moment.
G'day, Josh. Ollie Wood here.
G'day, Ollie. How you going?
Very good, thanks, mate. Congratulations on your fifth place in the top 10. Talking about some of the better players that you play with, is there anyone in particular at Bridgenorth that you've played with that stand out?
Probably Clemo was one of the ones that stood out. Week in, week out, he used to come out and just give all his best, so he was probably one for me down there. I
think we seem to hear Clemo just about every week. I suppose for a little bit more detail for some of the listeners, what made Clemo so good? I know for me, I sort of have watched him vaguely from a distance a couple of years ago, but I'm sure you would know a lot more than what I do. What makes him so good?
I think the thing is that with Clemo, you can put him anywhere around the ground and he'll just do his job. Like, he'd beat smaller blokes, bigger blokes, run them down, sort of thing. Like, his work ethic on the ground was massive, sort of thing. So, and he was a person that everyone just gelled around. So, I think he was like a big heart of the club down there. So, yeah.
Very good. And what about, you mentioned a couple of names you had played there at other clubs. What about opposition players, any in particular?
No, I didn't really take too much notice of opposition players when I played, really. Just focused on our blokes and trying to win matches. So, yeah.
Very good. I think that's a good one. I'm sure there's probably a fair few of our boys that could take a fair bit away from having that attitude. Pup, did you have anything there you wanted to find out?
Oh, just congratulations, Murph, on making number 5. Thoroughly deserved, mate.
Yep, thanks, Pup.
One that I thought Ollie was going to ask. We do this every week. The most annoying person that you encountered at the club, who would that have been?
There's only one bloke down there that's annoying. That's Philly Walker. I think everyone will say that.
Yeah, I think they're going
without
on that
fail.
track, Murph, that's for sure. You've obviously been pretty busy with work. You're at C&W. With Flinty. Yep.
Yep. No,
obviously
being
you
played out
guys
there.
are,
So.
no, that's good, mate. So, and just obviously you've touched on with the club and most people that come on the show and that know that, we are a good family club and have great functions and so on. And it might have been a year or so ago now, we were cleaning out some cupboards and found a heap of photos and just some of the functions we had with different dress ups. Like, you were one that took that on board.
Always fun, mate.
There's a classic there when I think you were a little Mexican, I think it was, and yeah.
I think I got knocked out in that game.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I got cane-nagged.
Yeah, and I know one thing for sure. Watching you play, you were definitely up there with the best small players that I would have seen in the time I was there. I know the game might have been when you were playing, you could have the second man up in the ruck, which they can't do anymore. There was a guy that was an absolute champion footballer. He played down at Lonnie, then came up to Bridgenorth and played in Premiership. Wim Varson, he was probably a little bit taller than yourself and myself, but the way he used to play the game as well, like he could just the vertical leap and that he'd have very similar to yourself. So I put you in that regard with him as well. So congratulations, Murph. Thoroughly deserved, mate.
Yep, cheers.
Very good comparison. Josh, great to have you on, but obviously you're on because you deserve to beat number 5 in the top 10 players for the century so far. So well done on a great career and obviously a great contribution for Bridgenorth through some pretty exciting years back there, particularly in the early 2010, of course, with that premiership as well. But thoroughly deserved, and congratulations once again.
Yep, thanks very much, guys.
Good
Thanks,
on you.
Murph.
Well done, Murph.
Cheers, mate.
And now there's
Good. Catch it.
a name. Pup Wim Vasson. I haven't heard that name in a long time. He was an outstanding footballer.
Great footballer, Wim. Yeah, obviously they came up in 92. I think the Exeter folded in 91. 92 was the first year Anthony Gibbons came along and coached for 4 years. And, Wimbo came up with a few of the older stalwarts at Exeter at the time, Jimmy Brumby and David Simons. A few of the then...
Steve Pubello.
Yeah, Steve Pubello. Then you had your younger Aussie Roll and a few of those guys. Went on and played for a long time. But Wimbo he was fantastic to watch.
Very heavily involved in athletics for many years now as well. So, good fella.
Played in 96 senior premiership.
His first premiership too, I think, after
I think it was,
so many games, There
you go. All right, so congratulations again to Josh. So, into the top 5 next week, of course. Stick around when we reveal number 4 in our top 10. Time for a break. And then, you wanted him. You've got him. Coming up, don't go anywhere. J. Rod will be next.
Visit C&W Electrical Launceston for all your electrical needs. If it's heating and cooling products, power points and switches, LED lighting or solar power, C&W will have the solution. 100% Australian owned and operated and supporting local families and community and sporting clubs. The friendly team at C&W has over 130 years of combined experience in the electrical industry, so no question will go unanswered. So if you're building or renovating, get in and see Flinty and the crew at C&W Launceston, a proud sponsor of the Bridge North Football Club.
Parrot's major sponsor, Fulton Hogan, formerly Venarchi Contracting, are your specialists in asphalt and sealing of driveways, sporting courts and private and public roads. We can also supply to fix your timber edging, retaining walls and stormwater systems, and we can rejuvenate your own asphalt to look like new. For statewide free quotes, please call 6325 4400. That's 6325 4400. Nutrient Ag Solutions, formerly Roberts Livestock, are experts in buying and selling livestock. For all inquiries, contact Graham Bly, your local agent, on 0439 175 969. That's 0439 175 969. Parrot sponsor.
Welcome back to Parrot Park Radio, and don't you just love live radio? We are about to do Parrot Park Lotto, and Rick Fontaine has just let about 40 balls go flying on the ground as Pup gets up and makes himself useful. Ollie, thank you very much. Dear, oh dear. Bobby, that was terrible, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, it looked pretty good from here,
horrendous.
mate. But on live radio, not the greatest thing.
Well, that just shows people that it is live, isn't it? Hey,
No, that's exactly right. And all the balls will go back in.
Unfortunately, we can't say that what happens in the studio stays in the studio, like players' trips do. Yeah. But thanks, gents. We don't want anyone to be missing out, do we, with a chance to win $200 cash on Parrot Park Radio Lotto.
There's a couple between his legs there, Ollie. A couple of balls.
Dear me. Right. And we got him in. Anyway, we got $200 we're giving away tonight, Bobby.
We have got our other guests on the line.
Have we?
If we want to go that way first.
Well, let's do that. Let's because it's just a debacle here. And thank you very much, gents. Let's lock this thing before it happens again. Goodness gracious me. What a way to introduce our next guest. It is great to have him on because I'll tell you what, after we had the Prime Minister on last week, gentlemen, there were a lot of messages on Facebook asking where is our next guest. And we were messaging each other a couple of weeks ago because we were going to play a bit of a prank on Bobby, and we still are actually, but nothing's changed. Just that he's now prepared, and you've probably got something that you're going to come back with at some stage, Bobby. But unfortunately, you may not get the last word like you normally do because we might run out of time. So it is a great pleasure to welcome a legend of the club, of course, 292 club games as well for the Bridge North Football Club. He is the bestie of Scott Morrison. It is great to welcome the big J. Rod. How are you, my friend? Are you well?
I'm good, mate. How are you?
Tremendous, thank you. And tell me, did you tune in last week and catch the PM?
I did catch the PM.
Fantastic. Now, we saw, of course, there was vision and photos all over the place last week in media. You almost got as much attention as Bobby did in the media last week. But did it bring back some great memories of that period about just over 12 months ago on that what is now a pretty famous night and as was acknowledged by the Liberal Party as well, probably a real turning point in their election campaign?
Yeah, it was good to have a bit of a laugh about it again, I suppose. It was a bit more exposure for the footy club again, which was good. So, everyone's a winner.
Yeah. Are you missing any Bridgenorth gear? Because I know Pup's still got his knickers in a knot about the fact that the PM took 2 of his Bridgenorth caps last year. But did you give the PM any Bridgenorth souvenirs?
No, I'm not that silly. I actually gave him a Guernsey, but it was someone else's.
Is that the one you signed?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. No, very good. There you go. He reckons you're silly. Pup.
Oh,
so
that's
there's 2 sillies at the Bridgenorth Football Club. Hey, now, you've had a couple of weeks to think about this, and because poor old Pup got paid out a few weeks ago, but this fella's had a lot to say the last few weeks, and I know my turn will probably come in the next few weeks as well. But Bobby Beams, you know Bobby very well.
I do.
Is there something that you would like to share on Parrot Park Radio this week that either Bridgenorth fans may not know, or maybe they do know, but you'd like to revisit that? You got a good story for us?
Oh, I've got a couple. How long have we got?
We got heaps of time.
We got heaps of time. Go for it.
No, well, as most people do know, Bobby's he's pretty sport mad. He likes all his sports. But what people don't know, or a lot of people don't know, he's actually terrible at sports. How many games did you play at the footy club, Bobby?
Not many good ones, mate.
No. I'll give credit where credit's due. He was a good, honest footballer. That's about as far as it actually went. Most of us have seen him on the cricket field, and he was terrible at cricket. But where he really, really struggles is his water sports. I first noticed it about, I reckon it would have been about 2005, back in the Wayne Mitchell era, when we had a training camp down Scamander.
Yeah, you're right.
And we're doing it. Was it 2005, wasn't it, Bob, I think?
Yeah, we went 2005 and 6 down there.
Yeah, righto. And we're doing a bit of work down at the beach there. And we had to swim across this little channel. It only would have been, I don't even think it would have been 20 metres.
Was that the one near the hotel down there, is it?
It is, mate.
Yeah.
Ah, yes. Where they got the pedal boats.
Yep.
It was a slight current there. When I say slight, it was really slight. So we're all going across there. I think we went for a run first, and we'd come across this little channel there. A fair few of us were over the other side, and we're watching Bobby trying to get across. And literally, I actually thought over this 20-metre stretch we were going to lose him. You could see the fear in his eyes. He was doing I don't know what sort of stroke he was trying to do. It was sort of a cross between...
Maybe he was having a stroke.
It was sort of a cross between doggy paddle and freestyle. We thought we were going to have to jump out there and rescue him. If it wasn't for Bobby glancing just to his left, where he saw someone coming up beside him, and he could see this other person wading through this knee-deep water, that he's realised that he could just put his 2 feet on the ground and walk across. So we had a pretty good chuckle about that. But that story there had a happy ending. This next one wasn't so happy. As most people know, Bobby got a bit of land out at Flowery Gully, where he runs a few sheep and cattle. So as most farmers do down that way, that he has a dam on his property. So this one day, one of his ewes had decided to go for a bit of a swim in the dam. Bobby, who could hear a commotion in the distance and saw that this ewe was in a bit of strife, and rumour has it he's ripped off the top, he's grabbed a rope and he's ran down to the dam, sort of Baywatch style, going to perform the big David Hasselhoff and jump in there and rescue this poor ewe in distress. But unfortunately, he's got down to the edge of the water there, and he's got too scared to jump in. So this poor sheep was frantically trying to get back to the edge of the dam. Bobby's too scared to jump in there and save him, so he's opted for Plan B, and he's gone for a little bit of John Wayne, and he's tried to lasso this distressed sheep to safety. Unfortunately, this didn't work, and by this time the sheep had drifted to a good probably 1.52 metres from the edge of the water. And I reckon the look that you had in his eyes that day would have been the same look Bobby gave us down Scamander that day. It was terrified. But one thing we do know about Bobby, he's no quitter. He definitely wasn't about to give up, so he had a brainwave. He thought he'd duck down the road and grab a kayak from his in-laws to perform a dramatic boat rescue. So off he set to this 50-minute return trip to Deviat.
50-minute return? What's it moved?
What's that?
Deviat.
What's that?
Deviat to Winkley moved, has it? It's a 20-minute return trip. Anyway, keep going,
return
mate.
Trip then. I reckon it was closer to 50 by the time he got there, loaded the kayak, tied it on, come back.
Keep going, mate.
So, I'd like to say that when he returned, the ewe had mustered up the strength and pulled itself to safety. So, unfortunately, as I said, there was no fairy tale finish to this story, and unfortunately, the poor ewe had drowned. And to this day, we still don't know why Bobby just didn't take 3 steps into the water and pull him out to safety. But as we know, he's petrified of water. So that's just one little story there about Bobby's farming life that not a lot of people probably know because he kept it pretty quiet.
So hang on. You're telling me that this poor ewe was only 1.5 metres away from land?
Yep.
Bobby!
No, it was nothing like that at all. But look, this is so predictable, Rick. I just knew how this would go. I've thought about it for 2 weeks, and I've been listening to these same stories for the last 15 years. So, first of all, Jared, great after a few failed attempts to get you on this show. You waited till after our highest rating show to jump on board. True to form, mate, just riding on the coattails of the hard work done by others at the footy club. Great to see, but I know how this would have went. The word would have went out. The first word would have went to Scotty Atkins, and Scotty would have said, "Oh no, I won't talk on the radio. I won't do that. But I've got some stories." Now, Scotty's great with his stories, and both of those ones have come from him. Some people get stories and run with them, but running isn't probably something Scotty. It's probably not really something he does. So I could probably say more to Scotty's vocabulary, he upsizes the stories. So the first one down there at Scamander, now that has got a fair bit of. It's been upsized a lot. Now Scotty started with this story that it was actually him and I swimming in this channel. Now I can understand. That Scotty was sidetracked that day. It was a lot of distractions because when we pulled up to Scamander at the hotel there, they'd just come out with a counter meal menu. So Scotty was done for the day. He was reading mixed grill, surf and turf. Like he really wanted to wrap his lips around a couple of those meals, which we got to later that day. So I can understand in his defence why he was a bit distracted by that story, because that story was that the main group were actually swimming in the ocean, and it was Plugger and myself were in a group on our own, which was sort of like the recovery group, but we probably called it the Wayne Mitchell's favourites group, so we were just there doing a bit of easy stuff. Now, the way the story went, Rick, I've taken it. There was a bit of a current. I did take off, and I honestly thought I was going to end up in New Zealand. It was taking me that flat out. And then as we got going, Plugger said, "Bob, it's only up to our knees." So, so I knew how that story was going to go because I've heard it many a times from Scotty. He thinks it's very funny, but it actually isn't that funny. And the one in the dam, that has just got totally blown out of proportion. But look, let's be honest, Scotty knows about blowing things out of proportion. So,
are you going to say that the ewe didn't die?
The ewe was already dead, mate. The ewe was already dead. So yes, and the road is the dam is right on the road, and I did want to move it off the property, so out of the sight of everyone. So great for you to join us, J-Rod.
Good to be here.
Listeners can probably hear the sound effects in the microphone as we speak. That is the alarm, Bobby, to say that, mate, this show has to end tonight. So have you got anything else you'd like to add in your defence? Because it's starting to sound like a court of law now. That it's
I'm good, mate. I knew this how it would have went, and that would be predicted. Let's get J-Rod on. It'd be great to speak on the radio. So, unless you've got anything else, Jared, I think I've done pretty well here.
No, there's probably another couple of stories I could say, but I don't think I could sit through your response, to be honest.
Why? Because it stitches you up, mate?
No, because it goes for too long, but we all know you like a good rant.
Oh, look, mate, certainly do. And you could start sending them out, mate. You did at the start of when you started speaking about my footballing ability, but if Rick's probably had the luxury of not having seen you kick the footy, which will... all of us that have seen you kick would know that you're probably not the one to be talking about other people's ability. And, and if you want to start on coaching, mate, I do remember a day in 2008 at Longford, so we probably don't want to go there.
No, we don't want to go there.
No.
We'll just talk about my probably reserve coaching record. That's probably a little bit better.
Oh, well, yeah, no, it was pretty good in one area you coached, mate, but the 2016, I think you coached 16 and 17 weren't too crash
No, they weren't that good.
No, so anyway, mate, great to have you on. How's your knee coming along? You come back from your second Rico. It'd be great to see you reach the 300 games. How's it coming along?
Yeah, not too bad. Can't complain. Obviously, the old coronavirus has given me a little bit extra time to get it right, which has been probably a selfish blessing in disguise. But yeah, good to get back into training last week.
Yeah, it sure was, mate. And who knows what's going to go on with the season? But it'd be great to see you, if it doesn't happen this year, chalk up that milestone next year.
Yeah, who knows? I'm not getting any younger.
No, that's right. And if you're retired on 292, well, it is what it is.
That's exactly right.
Pup, you got anything, mate, after all that?
Oh, well, I've probably got a minute left, I suppose. But yeah, no, good work, J-Rod. Like last week, obviously, people have been getting into me during the week about, give up and arcing up about losing a couple of hats. But I'll tell you what, you've got Bobby's. The hairs are still standing up on the back of his neck.
I think I knew what was coming, mate. I handled it pretty well.
I tell you what a response.
Yeah. All my hairs are standing up too, so I'm sitting in my shed in the underwear. It's freezing.
Yeah, that's something that we
didn't need to
don't need to know about too much. But
I like to get away from the kids.
Right. Hey, actually, and then last week as well, what was it like? Obviously, Bobby and I, been in the limelight a little bit last week with the ScoMo episode and so on. Like, how did that fit with you? Obviously, whenever ScoMo's mentioned around Bridgenorth, it's all about J-Rod, but you got a couple of mentions over it.
It's just a bit of a laugh, isn't it?
Yeah.
Bit of fun, bit of exposure for the footy club.
It's
I think I didn't read probably as much into it as anyone else last year. It was just, a bit of a joke, something that I'm pretty easygoing, like to act like a bit of a clown, so it was all pretty free-flowing to me, to be honest.
Oh, no. Like say we would...
I didn't have to go and do anything too different, to be honest.
Yep. We would never have thought 12 months ago this is where it would lead to. So, like I say, it's been fantastic. Promoting our club, that's for sure.
Great publicity.
You were telling me a couple of weeks ago, J-Rod, I think you said you had about the day after, the night before at Bridgenorth, you had about 5 or 6 interviews that day. What was the strangest question that you got asked the next day?
Oh, the strangest question. Oh, I can't really remember, to be honest. Probably the most awkward or uncomfortable one I had was when the guy from the ABC had me on there, and I was sort of talking about a few things, trying to act like I knew what I was talking about, and then he started hitting me up with a question about my political views. So that was a bit uncomfortable when I'm not right into that sort of stuff, and I had to sort of shut that question down without giving him a response, which was a bit awkward at the time.
You shut him down well, though, Jared. I was listening.
I did shut him down well.
And that, I'll tell you what, it might have got a bit of strife for that because ABC, of all stations, are government owned.
Yeah,
so
Leon
interesting.
Leon likes to get his views across.
Yeah. Okay. That's good.
I gathered that he sort of wanted me to make a bit of a fool of myself at the time, which is also something I'm pretty good at doing. I just didn't want to do it on live radio.
No.
Yeah, you're exceptional
Well
at
done.
doing that, mate. Good to see you sticking to your strengths. It's been a pleasure, mate.
Yeah, if you have got another short story, because Bobby won't have time to come back, is there anything else that you can mention on radio that you'd like to share?
About Bobby?
Yeah.
One story that always makes me laugh is we're footy trip one year. Remember at that restaurant, Bobby, and cause you're a stiffler for things having to be right. Remember that guy? We ordered our meals.
Yeah, there's
and you ordered an entree, and the guy brought the main and the entree out at the same time.
Yeah, he did.
And you refused to eat it.
Yeah.
That's not how it's supposed to be done.
And he sat it on the table behind us.
Yeah, that's right, he did too. And you had your soup, and then wouldn't eat your main.
No, you're right. That was on the Gold Coast. Now there was another sitting at a meal we had on the Gold Coast. You wouldn't remember because it was on the Saturday morning. You were glued to the toilet.
Bowl.
Yeah, you were to the toilet bowl all day that day. But we...
That's unlike me.
Yeah, a few of us went for breakfast. Anyway, we were waiting over an hour, and these tradies come in and got served in between. So I said, no, we're not putting up with this. So we just got up and left, and they were just about to bring our meal out, but we'd waited over an hour. I said, let's go. We're gone. So... Yeah, obviously you wouldn't have remembered that one, Jared. But
you didn't leave him behind, did you?
No, well, we rang Jared many a times that day. We went to the races, had a big suite organised there, and Jared, he did come out though again on the Saturday night. He come good, so it was good trip that one. Rained all the time we were there on the Gold Coast. We got off the plane on the Thursday. There was a little bit of blue sky. I thought, this would be good, and then it just rained for the next 3 days. But 2010, after we'd won the flag.
There you go.
Go to Parrot. Stop me talking.
Right. J-Rod, thanks for coming on, mate. Great to have a chat with you.
No
and
worries.
Thanks for sharing some stories as well.
Anytime.
Good fun.
Thanks,
all right,
mate.
Take care, mate.
Right, see you guys. Enjoy.
Thanks.
Cheers.
See you, mate.
There we go.
He's a good bloke.
Apologies to Chris Ball in the studio. Probably wants to go home to bed. But
well, we probably could have if you weren't 20 minutes late, Rick.
Excuse me. About 5 minutes, actually.
No, to the show.
Oh, to the show.
Yeah.
Last word again. Jeez. Right, Parrot Park Lotto. Let's do it. And this time, we are not going to have an accident.
You're right there, Rick.
Yes.
Hold on to your balls,
Thank
Rick.
you very much. So $200 first of all. So that is locked. So here we go. You can hear the balls going. So let's see which our first one's going to be. That one will roll down, and here it is. And it is number 96.
96. Kylie Circle, Jared's wife.
Well, there we go.
Yes.
J-Rod, if you're listening, there we go. $200. Thank you very much. Very nice.
Well there.
Number 96. Let's give another spin. And we'll... this one is for $100. And it is 47.
Tommy Tasker.
Tommy Tasker, well done. $100 coming your way. So congratulations to our 2 winners tonight. Lads, that's it. About an hour and 10, I think, tonight.
We've done all right.
We have done all right.
Yeah.
That was good fun. Great to have Feathers Page, of course, announcing Josh Murphy as our number 5 player in the top 10 and finishing off there with J-Rod as well. But Ollie, Bobby, Pup, thanks for coming. Good night again and good luck with training. What's that? When's training next, Ollie?
Thursday night we've got down at the ground at the Christian School behind Windsor Park there.
Oh,
so
yes.
that's usually a pretty good track to get on. So yeah, it'll be good to get down there for
It
sure.
will be. It'll be pretty chilly on that night too. I think it's those nights are getting cool.
That gets cool there
Bet you
and
missed
windy,
that.
but yeah.
I don't think it'll be windy.
No, there's no wind about, but
later in the week. So.
Yeah. Very good.
No,
all right,
all
we'll
good.
stay tuned and see. Catch all you guys next week for episode number 7.
Can't wait, Rick.
No worries.
And look
Thanks,
forward
Rick.
to speaking to a few people that know you, which we already have started.
Yeah, fantastic. All right, Bill Wyman, I'll be in touch.
Thanks, Rick. Thanks, man.
Darren Simmons.
No worries.
Yeah,
Thanks,
we're on a
guys.
few people actually. All right, take care, everyone. We'll catch you next week.